Gemini, welcome to your weekly astrology forecast and weekly tarot card reading from Born Without Boundaries Tarot. Welcome to my tarot table. Thank you guys for clicking on the video. If it's your first time here, my name is Michelle and this is Born Without Boundaries Tarot. I create a weekly tarot card and astrology prediction reading for Gemini and all the 12 signs. So remember to subscribe and ring that notification bell so that you know when I upload all of your favorite content. There's always an extended reading that I create for you, and I hope that you guys will be able to join me for. That link is attached to the top of the description box. I'll pin it to the top of the comment section, and also see it. You'll also see it toward the end of this reading, so you can just click on it and get right there. Guys, this reading comes to you whenever it's supposed to come to you. It is your reading, so please apply all the energies that I describe in the reading to however they fit in your life. And remember that even though the astrology is for December 15th to the 23rd, that's when the energy kicks off. When it reaches you, or when you hear the message, is when it's supposed to come to you. So believe in that divine timing. I have a few cards in front of me. Let me briefly explain. Oh, I love this. Let me briefly explain the astrology. Let's put it this way. It's a whirlwind of a week for you astrologically, because it doesn't start in the most comfortable of positions, because the first few days of this week, Mercury is square to Chiron, which always brings up pain, which always brings up suffering. For you, it's pain of what people have said to you in the past, the criticisms. It may not even be something that you specifically are able to quote, though I gotta say, because you're also trying to Mercury and you're trying to the moon on the very first day, I think you will be able to remember exactly what somebody has said to you and how it has hurt you and how it's affected you. But you'll also be clever enough to realize, I gotta do something with this. I gotta do something with these feelings. I've gotta do something with these memories. And the beautiful trine to Uranus, the trine between Uranus and Mercury this whole week, gives you a sense of brilliance that will enable you to use this pain or this even confusion, because with a square to Chiron, Mercury can get jumbled. Your thoughts can get everywhere. You can't articulate, or you don't know what to say. So maybe this is a memory of a time where you didn't know what to say and you wish you had said more and you wish you had reacted differently. Well, you're going to get that chance, because the square to Chiron drops away after the first couple of days this week, and then through the end of the week you basically just have this beautiful trine to Uranus, and then you form this Mercury will form this sextile to Neptune, which is just, Mercury sextile Neptune is like a creator's dream. It's like being able to use words to make art. So I usually equate it to songwriting or novel writing. It's just, you can take all the dreams in your head and you can put it to words. So it could also be brilliant invention. And that to me is like this brilliant breakthrough moment toward the end of the week. It's like Merry Christmas, Gemini, because all of a sudden you've got this exceptional idea that you know what to do with, and you'll be able to articulate and figure out, well, how do I do this? You'll also be disciplined enough to be able to write it down or figure it out, because you have the brilliance of the trine to Uranus, and then you'll have the creativity and fortitude of the between Mercury, of the sextile between Mercury and Neptune, to be able to really say anything that you need to say, and maybe even have conversations that you need to have in ways that you will be happy about, in ways that you'll know that you have been able to communicate what you feel in a productive way. and I think it's brilliant. Like, I feel like there's gonna be like brilliant songs written next Thursday. Like, there's just gonna be this rush of ability to work something out in a clever way that's creative and communicative, that people will really want to listen to. So leave your comments below. I would love to know how this energy is impacting you, or how you're experiencing it this week, but especially toward the end of the week, because that's when it really gets brilliant. Now remember, the beginning of the week can be kind of painful, but that's almost like the muse or the inspiration of writing a great song, or writing a great poem, or writing a great novel, or starting it out. This would be a great week for you to really initiate something, because there's a huge likelihood of it really coming to fruition relatively quickly. Let's get to the cards. We have time for a deep dive. This is why I was so excited. Let me show it to you all at once. Time for a deep dive. Magic works through you. And time to let go. You are completely and totally capable of healing, especially healing a love affair or healing a relationship with somebody that you loved. You're able to, and it's through you. So you could even find yourself mediating it, or doing something. For example, I'm not saying that all you are going to go out and write songs, but think about how writing a song can not only heal the person that is writing the song, because it gives them a conduit to use to expel all the hurt and all the pain, and use it somehow, right? So that it becomes a positive thing. But then when people hear the song, it's also usable by those people. It helps them to heal. So this is like the gift that keeps on giving. That's what's going on this week, Gemini. Where you are able to articulate something that not only helps you, but is inevitably ends up helping others as well. This is healing a broken heart, because time to let go is something that has been sitting on your chest and eating away at you for quite some time. Could have to do with situations with your family, because this is Cancerian energy, and situations with your partnership, so intimate spouses or boyfriend, girlfriend situation. Stuff that has really been sitting on you and hurting you, but you haven't known what to do with. You will absolutely know what to do with it this week. And the healing doesn't seem to be just with you, though you are the catalyst of it. There seems to be this ability to heal everyone around you. Not that that is your responsibility, but that it will be in your wheelhouse. And healing yourself actually helps you heal others. So do not be afraid to discuss or talk about the things that you need to talk about this week, because the truth is other people need to talk about them too. And you getting it out and working out the situation will help everybody involved. So this could apply to business as well. I've got some cards in the future that have popped up, so let's get to those. But let me finish my thought. This goes to business as well. Like, if you've noticed something wrong and you've understood and you're seeing something in your work day or whatever you're doing for work or career, if you're seeing something in your work day that just isn't working out, doesn't make sense, or you're upset about it because it's bothered you for a while because it's been going on for a while, you speaking out about it, or you figuring something out, even if it's on your own, just going rogue, because Mercury is trying to Uranus, going rogue and saying, I'm going to figure this out. You are going to figure it out. And it's going to help everybody. It's not just going to help you, but it is going to help you. This could be a very Merry Christmas. I'm going to tell you that right now. In the future, we have the energy is gaining momentum, and be bold and make the first move, but it's in reverse. What I think is things are a little bit topsy-turvy, and that you will in some ways either not take full credit for what you've discovered, or be shy about it. Now, be bold. The card in reverse doesn't necessarily mean that you're not going to be bold and make the first move. I think maybe you're going to make the first move in a way that is more subdued. You're going to make the first move in a way that is more subtle. So it's kind of saying, don't be blunt about it. Don't be in people's face about it. Be subtle about it. This isn't underhanded or manipulative energy. This is a sense of like saying it nicely or putting it in a way that is very appealing. And you will be able to do this because later on in this week, especially, the beginning and middle of the week gets kind of rough because Venus and Mercury, who have been conjunct for so long, that you may have, for a while now, for a couple months now. So you may have, maybe even more. So what I'm saying is, because Mercury is your ruling dignitary, you may actually have taken that rush of eloquence and style that Venus gives to you. You may have taken it for granted, but this week, in the beginning of this week, that conjunction is so loose that you may not even feel it. So when you lose it, and when that closeness, and maybe even the closeness of somebody that you are in love with or connected with, when you lose that connection, all of a sudden it brings you back to realizing just how important that connection is. And it is because of that realization that toward the end of the week, you'll really appreciate their energy in your life, or your renewed energy again, and you'll be once again able to say it with flair, present yourself with a charisma that people will look at and want to watch. So you don't have to be blunt, right? This is a sense of you can be subtle because the eloquence will be there. And lots of times it isn't just like being blunt with words and saying it, but having style and finesse and saying it in a way that people will want to listen. And the energy is gaining momentum, even though it is more subtle. Now, in more intimate relationships or more intimate situations, this could definitely be words not even being completely how you communicate. Because with that sextile to Neptune, lots of times it is just feeling it and knowing it and psychically understanding it. And you'll hear the words in your head. It'll all work out. But at the same time, it's not blunt. So there are subtleties here where you'll know a situation has gotten better, or that there's sort of this exorcism, if you will, of bad feelings and bad juju by looking at somebody and knowing that things are okay again. So it's a bit of a whirlwind in terms of the energy, but it's a whirlwind that helps people in your life realize how important you are to them and could work on you in the same way. Okay. I don't think it's early in the morning when I'm recording this. I don't think I articulated that very well, but I hope you understand it. Let's get into the details of how this situation works out. So how does the situation work out? The Hanged Man. So there is a sense of, you know what I got? Seeing somebody else's perspective, seeing it from their point of view. So once you understand and see something from their point of view, or you're able to, or this is what the suggestion is, word it in a way so that they are experiencing it like, so that they can see it from your point of view. Describe it to them so that they can understand, okay, this has to do with, oh, so you fought with somebody. There was some sort of argument or something that they took from you. Because we have the Five of Swords, which is defeat, a sense of taking something away that meant something to you that maybe they didn't even realize meant that much to you. Or even if they did, there's a sense of you being able to try to show them your perspective and things from a different perspective. You know what? I'll tell you this right now, it won't work. It won't work. It won't work. So what does happen? Because you have the Five of Swords and Seven of Pentacles. What does happen? What does come out? Eight of Wands, new opportunities. What kind of opportunities? The King of Wands. Oh, so King of Wands is taking authority over your own life and your own, like creating on your own. So it could be realizing that, you know what, hanging around and waiting for somebody else to do it your way or to see it your way isn't working. So there's all this rush of new ideas that come in. King of Wands could be a fire sign coming at you in a good way, offering you opportunities or rushing towards you. Passion again, sensuality again, coming back online. It's almost like something just happens, like miraculously. This could also mean King of Wands. This could even be, if it's not somebody that you know, it's you. It's this energy of just being confident and being certain and you going ahead and doing it anyway. This sense of, okay, if you guys don't get me, if you guys don't understand me, I'm going to go rogue. I'm going to do it by myself. And you are going to do it by yourself. And when you do it by yourself, it's going to be like, that's when they're going to say, holy shit, we got to follow Gemini. Do you see what I'm saying? It's like they're still not going to be able to comprehend. They might be still hung up on something or stuck on something. So you're just like, okay, with forgiveness and gratitude, I'm just going to go and do it by myself. And you're going to do it by yourself. And you're going to get it done. And it's going to it's going to prove that it can be done. It's like that scene from a movie. Okay, I always explain movies to you. So remember, if you've seen the movie Maverick, but it's also a scene from a lot of movies where people don't believe, oh, it can't be done. So he was fired and he takes the jet and he does the run himself and proves that it can be done. And even though it's breaking the rules, it doesn't matter, because ultimately what he did was he went against the fear, he went against the rules, and in doing so proved that what he was saying could be done and what he was saying was right and how he was training his students was correct. So it's almost like, yeah, at one point in the week, you may have to be like, fuck it. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it myself. I understand that you are not at a point where you can understand what I'm saying, but I understand what I'm saying. And you just go ahead and you just do you. You're totally going rogue. But in going rogue, you are going to make a breakthrough, not only for yourself, but for everybody else's clarity as well. That's what it's saying. I hope I described that well to you. Because honestly, oh yeah, what up? I love you, God. The Fool. The Fool. There you go. You are taking a leap of faith. Thank you, God. That is it. It is a leap of faith. But it's not, I think a lot of times, Gemini, people confuse leap of faith for just being stupid or being impulsive. No. Faith comes from a place of complete and total acceptance and understanding. You just don't completely know what's going to happen next. So the leap of faith is you trust in this. There's a feeling inside of you where like, no, I'm just going to trust this. I'm just going to trust this, even though everybody else is kind of naysaying and saying, no, it can't work. Yes, it can. And it's not because you want it. It's because on some level, Gemini, you have already figured all the shit out. You've already figured it out. They can't see it yet. This is like when Einstein was proving his theory of relativity. This sense of you already figured it out, but the events hadn't, you figured it out so far ahead that the events, he had figured it out so far ahead the events hadn't happened yet. He had to wait for some sort of eclipse that was 8 years out or something like that. Google the story, it's interesting, and I'm going to totally wreck it for you. But there's a sense of, in order to prove what he was saying, he had to wait for an eclipse that wasn't going to happen for 7 or 8 years in order to observably prove it. For real. So for like 7, 8 years, this motherfucker was sitting there being laughed at by people. That's how far ahead he was. That's how far ahead he was. So that's kind of like, I'm not saying it's been like 7 or 8 years, but you're almost like saying, no, I know this is right. I know this is right, probably because with that square to Chiron, you've already been through it. You've already suffered through it. You already know what comes on the other side. So you're just going to go there. And in going there, you build the bridge for other people to come there. Now, this is very metaphoric, and we're going to get deeper into how exactly this is going to play out in your life. Let's go to the extended reading. I love you guys, and I'll see you there.